That's what I want to see for sure.
Was that Joe Lamont?
It's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The episode is called Guitarded.
That makes
and let me tell you, and Mike, he ribbed me on there a couple times, so I'm ready for him. But it was so funny. I swear to God, I did. I started crying,
dude,
twice.
Yeah.
It was that funny. It was just like Joe got off on some tangents. It just went. It was
Joe and it's always funny.
Okay,
yeah,
you know them. You know all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were all about as drunk as I've seen them.
That's what I heard.
Oh, they get
that's
that
what
way.
I heard.
Oh yeah.
And Joe just goes off when he's drunk.
He does.
Man.
Oh, he is 4 locos in.
He's one of the funniest, man. He is one of the funniest dudes.
I think if you want to have a success show and not have to do any real work or anything, just put 2 stools and 2 mics on stage and have Joe Lamons and Donald Evans just sit on stage, just like, welcome to the show, and just no script, no fucking clue where it's going.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 you could put together. You can't put anybody else with Donald Evans other than Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's probably the only one who could keep up.
Yeah.
You know? Donald Evans is a monster. The first time I saw him, it was an open mic, and there was these 2 young girls in the front row, and he laid into them.
She cried.
And one cried.
Wow.
And
she cried.
Like, I stood back holding my chest going, oh my God, this is unbelievable. This is so funny. It was awesome.
He did an opening set for a comedian recently that my wife and I went to go see, Brett Ernst. Yeah. And Donald, everybody told me, like, dude, he is on another level. You got to see this. And I was just like, all right, I'm sure I love comedians. I love watching videos of crowd work and the heckling and reverse heckling. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And I love that sense of humor. So I'm like, all right, I'm used to this. Let's see what's going on. And Donald Evans got up on that stage, and I was expecting a machine gun, and what I saw was the full round Gatling gun.
Gatling gun for sure.
It was, and he not. I think maybe 1 in 20 was not funny.
Yeah,
like everything else was.
I remember that show. That was a great show.
Oh my God, it was so. Especially when he went off on tangent and they got stuck on that dude's cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Well, he had the headliner rolling. Brett Ernst was in the back. I was working that night, and Brett Ernst was in the back, dying laughing, watching Brett Ernst. Watching Donald.
This kind of takes me in. We didn't do the whole intro, so give me a second. We're gonna do a quick intro with you guys.
Okay.
Welcome to the Roadkill.
This is my first
Roadkill
time.
Drums Podcast. My name is Laurel. We got Mark Roadkill down the other way. We have Jason Williams and John Donovan joining us tonight. Thank you, and cut back into what we were talking about. Go for it.
What were we talking about?
I think we need to redo that whole intro. That seems really rushed and fucking sloppy.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Over.
Welcome back to the Roadkill Drums Podcast. My name is Laurel. Down the other end, Mark Roadkill of Roadkill Custom Drums. And joining us today, we have Jason Williams, John Donovan, a couple of fantastic comedians, performers, and musicians as well. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We were talking a few minutes ago.
Them fuckers.
Them fuckers. What?
Yeah, that band, Them Fuckers, you know. Trying to move this shit along. That's all. Sounded good.
Real professional here, Laurel.
All right. We're having a good time. We were talking about watching Donald Evans make Brett Ernst laugh. Okay, and what I was going to say is this is an interesting conversation because as a comedian, and I know you've given it and you've done a little bit of comedy, and then you've been doing it for a little bit while as well.
9 months, yeah.
I mean, hey, that's experience, right? So at a certain point, you start to find, okay, this is my rhythm, this is my joke style, and this is the jokes that I'm starting to get that rhythm of writing jokes. So at that point, you start making new challenges. Like, if I can make the headliner laugh, it's a successful night.
Yeah. It was great watching Brett Ernst laugh at Donald Evans. I thought it was awesome because I've liked Brett Ernst for a lot of years. I listen to all the different comedy podcasts I have for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And he's one of the funniest dudes. And his last special was absolutely amazing. I don't know if it was his last one, but the last one I saw was Uncaged, and that was a great special.
Yeah.
It hit really close to home because he's talking about being 50 and divorced after like 13 years.
Yeah.
And I just got divorced after 19 years, and I'm 43, so it was just paralleled my life so much. It was hilarious.
Oh, dude, when you find a comedian that can do that for you, it's like a band or a musician, too.
Yeah.
If you can find that music or that band that you really connect with on a
It's
deeper
like a
level.
song that touches you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, they know what that felt like.
Yeah.
That's a cool feeling.
Right.
But on the comedy side, it's this kind of taps into being on stage, both in music and in comedy, of finding that sweet spot where you've got the rhythm with the audience and the jokes and the laugh, and the jokes are hitting the appropriate tone for that audience, whether that's extreme or mellow, whatever it is. And that high you get when you have that connection is the greatest thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah, nothing can explain that feeling.
Well, but you kind of been in that position for quite a while, because you had a band back in the 80s that you guys were pretty successful.
I've had many bands from the 80s till the early 2000s. And when you connect with the crowd with what you're doing on stage, there's nothing that touches it. And if it's a song or if it's just a group of songs, and same with doing comedy. The thing about comedy is you have instant gratification. Like if you say something funny, you get a laugh, and then it's instant.
Yeah.
If you're acting and sometimes when you're playing music, you don't get the instant gratification. Music is a little bit different. The reaction is what you get out of it. Acting, it's a whole kind of different thing. Well,
because with the joke, you're shortening an entire story that an actor or musician would tell over 3 minutes to 2 hours. You're shortening an entire story to 30 seconds,
right?
And then they get to laugh at it and move right on.
Yes.
So it's the hyper.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think we're speaking the same language.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the difference of jokes get the quickest turnaround. Music gets the next, and then acting takes a little bit longer. And it's because in every sense you have to prove yourself, but because jokes are so fast, you can prove yourself really, really fast.
Yes. Yeah. And similarly with songs playing live. Acting though, you if it's a theater thing, and then after the show and the cast goes out and greets the audience, the reaction they give to you, like if it's a drama, if you get, I felt that so much, and some woman's crying on your arms, you're like, I did a good job that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, with comedy, it's a quick thing, and then with music, what just happened?
Mark's fucking with me. No, Mark's fucking with me. I wanted to make sure the camera was recording, so I just had this thought. I was I hit the button, right? And the red light's on.
Mark's not in the camera.
I did a
And
quick
I'm
whip
looking
to try
at
to
it
get
like,
back in the conversation.
is the button on?
I look back and Mark just goes, and he's just down there. He's just down there fucking with me.
Okay.
He knows I had a little bit tonight, so he's seeing his opportunity. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
It's all right. No
I'm
worries.
not, because I want to hear more about the bands.
You want to hear more about the bands?
Yeah. Because
there's a couple
I mean, all I know about you is when I met you, you were best friends
sound
with
guy
Mike.
with Mike,
Dude,
yeah.
sound guy. You've been friends forever.
Yeah.
Come from like Texas with that angry guy or something, and
Well, no, I'm originally from New
or
Jersey.
you worked out there.
Yeah.
With the angry guy or something.
No, I met Greg here. Greg's from Texas. However, I did live in Texas for a long period of time.
That
Gregory
Gregory Perry,
angry
angry
guy.
Texan.
Wasn't here in Arlington.
Yeah, I worked at Six Flags in
We love you,
Okay,
Greg.
see, I
Texas.
knew it was one of
Texas.
those stories.
So I was an actor for a long time and a musician for a long time. In the 80s and 90s, I was in music. I played in metal bands and all that stuff. And I would also go up to New York City and audition for acting parts. But nobody's going to hire a skinny, long-haired kid, especially back in the 80s, So
Charlie Daniels would.
Right, but he wasn't a New Yorker. He was a Nashville guy, and I wasn't living anywhere near there. So I would take the train up to New York and hit audition after audition after audition, and I got nothing. Like, it was constantly being turned down. It was so frustrating, but I was, hard-pressed. This is what I want to do. Like, I'm all about this, And my day job, I was a landscaper. I would cut grass and all that shit, and I hated it. I fucking hated it. It was a labor job, but I got good at it and all that stuff. And then after 4 years of doing that, and I started doing that when I was about 16, 17, after 4 years of doing that, I just got fucking tired of it. So I opened up the newspaper, if anybody can remember what those are.
One of us can.
Yeah, to look for a new day job. I was looking for a new day job, just something to get me through, and I was still doing auditions, and I was still playing in bands at night and all that stuff. And there was this little square ad that said, come audition for the Comedy Wild West show at Six Flags Great Adventure, which is the Six Flags in New Jersey. And it just punched me in the face. And I'm like, I need to go see what this is about. So I looked further, and the audition was happening as I was reading the ad. So I had my resume and my headshot in my back seat, and I hauled ass. It took a half hour to drive to the park. And I got there, and the guys who were running the show, it was this independent contract company that got hired by the park. And I showed up as they were wrapping up. And I'm like, hey guys, I just read the ad. And I had long hair and like John Lennon glasses and a leather jacket. And they're like, who's this asshole? So they said, all right, you got 5 minutes, man. They gave me a script. I read. They hired me. I worked for them for 14 years.
Wow.
The second year I got hired, they shipped me down to Houston, Texas. There used to be a Six Flags down there. I worked a show there for a couple months, and went back to New Jersey for a couple years, and then they got their contract back at Six Flags over Texas, and they needed somebody to be the boss, and I had learned enough about the show and how the show runs and everything they needed, so they made me the boss of the show. And after 2 years of that is when I met Mike Lee, and he was from Oklahoma, and they had a contract at Frontier Adventures in Oklahoma City where he came from. They shipped him down, and he was this skinny kid with hair, if you could believe it.
I want pictures.
No. A skinny kid with hair.
No pics, no proof.
I have them somewhere. But anyway, he came down, and he's like, hey, I'm Mike Lee. I'm in a fraternity at Oklahoma University, and I like football, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, I like barbecue.
Yeah. And I like to drink beer, and I like girls. I know, I wear cargo shorts and flip-flops.
How did Mike go from a Texas prospector to a moonshiny hillbilly in a single sentence?
You don't know him like I do.
And he's the one that fucks with me because that's like,
you start off on football and on a barbecue, and then by the end of it, you're going in the hills and you're going to make no girl.
Well, when you're from New Jersey, anybody outside of New Jersey sounds like that. So, and that means all three of you right now. So, but yeah,
but listen, you're Jersey. What part of Jersey are you from?
South Jersey.
South. Oh, see, look, that's why you don't sound like this. You don't sound like Harley Quinn.
I don't, and that sounds ignorant. So
that did sound pretty bad.
But yeah, so that's when I met Mike, and he was brand new to the company, and he was this kid, and he was going for theater. So, yeah. But he was an opposite version. So I was a punk rock, heavy metal kid. I like wearing black or suits with a skinny tie and shit like that. And he was like a fucking beer shirt and cargo pants. But
he still is.
He still is, yeah.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, him and I became fast friends. Like, he's one of the funniest people on the planet and one of the most generous people I've ever met. He's a great guy. He's also, anything he does, he's amazing at. And for that, I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Because he can build anything.
I kind of
and he can cook anything. He's awesome.
I kind of wanted the pool to fail just a little bit. Just to put a chink in the mighty Mike's armor. I'm just kidding, Mike. I never wish that on you.
And I house sat in the last 2 days. It looks pretty awesome.
It does.
But you know what I did?
What
did you talking about his pool?
Yeah.
I helped him sand it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I pissed in it. He doesn't know unless he watches this.
Well, he does now.
Well, by the time he watches this, we all will have this.
Yeah, right?
You know what you're really good at? You have that same talent that Will Ferrell has, where he can say hilarious and ridiculous shit and just not even give a glimmer of a break.
Yeah.
You do that really well. You've got that. You're able to keep a straight face, and no matter how funny or off the wall what you're about to say is, you keep that face so
He's
straight.
very much an actor.
I also meant what I just said.
Well,
Yeah, it was pretty serious shit.
truthful.
Yeah, it was like I wasn't joking.
yeah. I'll be honest.
It's
One of my
just
greatest.
water.
Well,
You know.
well, but I've tried comedy a couple of times, and I'm the guy that laughs at all his own jokes. And I can't keep that stoic face when saying something funny. I just can't. I'm incapable of it.
Well, so sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're fine.
Mike's been a stand-up for almost 20 years now, and he's been for those 20 years trying to push me into that realm. He's like, I think you're one of the most funniest people on the planet, blah 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 blah, and I'm like,
I've seen some good sets.
and I'm like, it's just not my thing. So
I will say
because
I
he's-
haven't seen good sets. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I did see the picture of you with your pants down and a guitar in your hand.
Yes.
and,
That was good.
And like hundreds of comments saying that was the funniest.
Didn't
joke
say
of the
a
whole
word.
night.
Didn't say a word. Playing a guitar with his wiener. It was absolutely hilarious.
So here's what that was.
Absolutely
I
hilarious.
missed that one.
You
too.
all know.
Oh no, it
I
was
didn't
good.
know. I had no idea before now.
You
Yeah.
all know Eruption from Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where Eddie's the solo thing. So I heard that and I saw something similar. I'm like, I'm going to steal that and change it up a little bit. So I brought my guitar on a Wednesday night at the Laugh Out Lounge and John Donovan to the stage, blah, blah, blah. And here I am with my guitar facing inwards, strings inward. And I didn't say hello. I didn't say, hey, Winter Haven, how you doing? I didn't do nothing. I just immediately, while the guitar was on me, started undoing my pants. And everybody's going, what the fuck is this guy doing? man?" And then I pulled my pants down to my knees, and they were like, what is going on right now? And then I nodded to the sound booth, and then here comes, and I had my hand on the neck, and I'm doing this. I didn't pull my underwear down, by the way, because
Oh my god.
He is laying hanging out the fly.
Thank you for clarifying. Your underwear was still
yeah,
on you.
because regardless if it's cold or not, it's the same. It's the
Well, you
same.
can cut it on a string.
Yeah, there's also that, and I'm not having it.
Top tier concerns.
It's got to reach
Decent
the fringe.
exposures moved down the list.
So after the song Eruption was over, and it was quiet, I took my hands off the guitar, and I pulled my pants up, and everybody's like, is this done? And I zipped my pants, and I went and walked off the stage. And that was it.
No words, and it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
And Mike was there, and he's like, dude, that was fucking great. And from Mike, who owns a comedy club and has been in comedy for so many years, that's a good plus.
Yeah,
For sure.
You know? So, yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt. That was fucking good.
Yeah.
There you go.
With Mike going.
Like Rusty getting great by a buddy guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Rusty was telling us a
Missed
story
that
in his
earlier.
episode 3 episodes ago. Rusty right outside, I guess, is now friends with Buddy Guy, and his
Oh,
family
no
goes and
kidding.
plays with him
That's
all the
awesome.
time.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Buddy Guy gave him a compliment.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Said this guy's damn good and asked to play with him. Like, it was
Really?
pretty crazy.
That's great.
Yeah,
You'll,
that's really cool.
you'll have to go check out the episode. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
Sure. Yeah.
So let's kind of turn. We talked a little bit about comedy and performing and stuff, but I know you both are musicians. We talked a little bit about yours, but you've been playing drums now.
No. I played drums for a couple of years. I had a drum set in my attic that my buddy left there, and I played drums. But I've been playing a guitar since I was 13.
Yeah, I was gonna tie into the drums, but we then go into the guitar from there. So you did play drums. You said the ones that were in the attic, yeah.
Yeah, for about 2 years, I would play a few times a week. You know?
And that was when you were older. Or when was that?
No, I was 15 or 16 years old.
Okay, so you
I was in a
started on
punk
the
rock
guitar.
band when I was like 15.
And on the
we
same
only
note-
played one show.
When I was 15, 16, I didn't have anything where I could beat stuff, so I would have to go in the attic and do what I had to do. So, anyway, back to what you're saying.
Yeah, I played drums for a couple of years just when my buddy left the house, but it was nothing. I never got good.
And by the way, it was the 80s, no lotion. Just spit, motherfucker.
Jesus.
Just spit.
Oh, they had Vaseline. Oh, wait, that was the 70s. Oh, I'm ahead of you.
No, they had that in the 90s too.
I can't keep putting comedians on the podcast. Everything's just beep beep beep
80s,
beep.
90s. Yeah. Well.
Cricket.
Cricket.
See, we need to
There was
fucking
crickets up there.
Dead air.
There was crickets up there.
So, but
We
so,
need-
in the attic.
But you have played drums. Do you remember what kit you had?
Yes. I believe it was a Mapex kit.
Mapex?
Just a Mapex 5-piece kit, 2 toms, a snare, a bass. I want to say there was a 5th drum, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, and there's been a lot of drugs in between now and then. But,
Yes, you no longer have Mapex.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, Mapex are good drums, some sponsors.
There you go. But so
but
you started on the guitar originally.
I originally played guitar when I was 13. My uncle got me a Cortez electric guitar and a bass amp that he had got at like a thrift store, a pawn shop or something. And then I stopped playing that. I played that for about a year, and then me and my buddies decided to start a punk rock band, so we needed a bass player. So I ended up getting a bass, and I started learning to play bass. And I did that we only played for about a year. We only played one show. It was terrible. Our drummer decided that the band was called Undermined Authority. And we just played pop punk covers. Blink-182, we played Sublime, we played No Effects, we played Goldfinger.
So you were late 90s?
Yeah, mid-90s.
Okay.
Mid-90s.
Right
This was probably about, actually, I played that show on October 11th, 1996.
Okay.
And the only reason I remember that is because my cousin died that week. And it was Martin Luther King Day or Columbus Day or something was that Monday. And we had that day off. So after this show, we were 15, 16 years old, all of us. And we had a buddy of mine buy us a bunch of booze, and we got hammered that Sunday night. And we just remembered we didn't have to go to school the next day. That's the only reason I remember the day.
Because of the MLK Columbus Day.
Yeah, because whatever holiday it was, we didn't have to go to school. So we all sat in my buddy's garage and got absolutely wasted on Goldschlager and Corona.
Yeah.
Vomit-filled evening.
Oh my God.
Okay, so... But you were talking to me a little bit about how you've been getting back into playing now,
Yeah, I've never really stopped. I stopped for about 10 years. I didn't play as often as I would have liked to, but
He was married.
Basically. And I worked all the time. I was married. I just didn't play. And I haven't played with people. I played one time with people in like 25 years.
Wow.
I just sit on my front porch and play my guitar, play my acoustic, or I'll sit in the basement and play the acoustic, whatever. No basements here in Florida. This is back in Illinois. But now
There are.
Not many.
Very rare.
There are some,
Yeah.
but it's not in that.
There's one at the
It's just
comedy
in the
club.
old other stuff,
No, yeah.
knowing stuff about history.
What?
I don't know, but I've never jacked off in a basement, though. Where are they?
Oh, I jacked off in the basement a lot of times.
Have you?
I lived in the basement for a long time.
I won't bring that back up. We don't have it.
You had to say bring it back up.
Hey-o. Who's got a sock?
Oh, God.
No, but yeah, so I play a lot of acoustic now. I still play. I keep getting guys that want me to come and play the open jams.
Laurel!
I put my head down the wrong way as you said that.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I'm glad you didn't put
Cut that part off.
Yeah.
No, do not let it. You cannot edit that. Fucker. He gets to edit shit when I do stupid stuff, but.
Oh my God, that was cricket.
But back to the music thing.
Yes, I want to talk a little bit about some of your origins in music.
So I started in the mid to late 80s. I was a young metal kid. Before that, Michael Jackson and pop music was the only thing for me, you know? And I loved that crap. But I heard Black Sabbath for the first time.
Yeah.
And that spoke volumes to me.
Do you remember which song was the first one you heard?
It was Paranoid first.
There you go.
And then War Pigs. And then the rest of it was like, yeah, I'm in for all of it.
Yeah.
And Ozzy was solo at this point. So I picked up on all of his stuff. And I was just, and then Quiet Riot, and then Twisted Sister, and all of those bands back in the day. It was like, yes, I'm in. I grew my hair. I pierced my ears and all that stuff. And I would have to take my earrings out every time I went to my grandparents' house. And my grandmother would pick me up, and she's like, you should hide your earrings, baby. Grandpa's not, he doesn't like that stuff. You know? So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Grandma.
But that shit spoke volumes to me, man. I did a variety show in high school with this band. We were called Ground Zero many, many years before 9/11. We did Boston's More Than a Feeling. I hit most of the notes as a singer. Whatever. And then I started a garage band after that, and that led into another band, into another band, into another band. And then I met these guys who were banging around New Jersey, who were really talented. And they wrote songs, and I fit the bill as a front man at the time.
Yeah.
And so the package just kind of worked, you know?
Yeah.
And so my drummer had a shed, not unlike this, in his backyard that his parents had built, and we rehearsed there every day. Every day we rehearsed. If we weren't doing a gig or an interview or something, we rehearsed every day to get as tight as we possibly can. And we banged around. We did all of New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York City, like Manhattan. We hit all the spots. And then one day
which band was this?
We were called Peace Dog.
Peace Dog,
There's a video on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll link that video. That video's badass.
So the band was called Peace Dog. The song is called Mercy. We recorded an album in a friend's studio, in a very, very great studio for back then, you know. But we were hitting New York City a lot. That's where we kind of made our bones. And we met a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy from Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
And so if you remember a band from Florida called Sabotage, they were a great metal band from back in the day. It was their producer and management guy. There was another band called Badlands, who Jakey Lee from Ozzy's solo band, he was a part of. They were part of that. They came and saw us at this place called the China Club in New York City, which is probably not there anymore. They came and saw us, loved us. And then the producer came and saw us. He loved us. They wanted us to, they said, we think you're great. Your look's great. Your sound's great. We're just not hearing the crossover hit.
Yeah.
So they said, go back into your shed in the backyard, keep writing songs, record them, send us demos, and then as soon as we hear the crossover hit, we'll let you know, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah.
So we were a band that was, we did something all the time. And then we were stunted at that point. We were just stuck in the shed, recording songs. And then sending them out. Nope, not it. For like 3-4 months this happened, and we were dying. We were fucking dying. So we called them and said, we got to do a gig, just a show, just something to keep us alive. And they're like, no, please don't, because now you're linked with us. And we've sent your word out throughout the offices and the scene and all that stuff. And everybody that works with us knows who you are. If you have a bad night for whatever reason, it's going to reflect on us. So please don't. So we told them, nope, we're doing something. And they said, well, you're cutting ties with us. So we did one gig at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and we cut ties with them. It was a great show. And then we did a matinee show in Manhattan for this entertainment lawyer. He hated us, and we broke up right after that gig. And that was the end of it. But we were, like, momentum was going, and then all of a sudden, it was like a nuclear bomb just said, you're fucking done. And that was the end of it. You know? And it just shows you how delicate a creative thing can be, to where, like, you're building everything, and you got all of your fucking strength into all of this shit, and then it just crumbles.
Yeah.
And it's done. You know? And I tried after that. I made a new band, and that didn't go anywhere. And another band after that, which was really good, that didn't fucking go anywhere. And then I moved out of state. I moved to Texas. I was doing new stuff, and that band was fine for a while. And I started a new band, and I got to be 32, 33 years old, and I just was really chasing it, you know?
Yeah.
Really chasing it. Denied girlfriends who wanted to get married and settle down and all that stuff. And I'm like, nope, I'm doing this. And I just fell out of love with it, to be honest with you. You know?
The fight took the passion out of it.
Yeah, it really did, man. Like, it beat the fucking crap out of me. I felt like Chuck Webner, if you know who he is as a boxer. Like, I was the fucking Bayonne bleeder.
Yeah.
You know? And I got tired. And I stepped back from it. I miss it. I do miss it a lot, but I don't miss, like, the everyday constant, this guy can't show up, but, like, you can get this fill-in guy as long as you keep him up to speed, but you got to sacrifice this amount of time in your life and blah, blah, blah. There's just so much to it,
Yeah.
you know? And it just got old.
I understand that.
Yeah. Did I wear you down? Were you tired?
I was like, God damn. How long is this going to go on? Fuck, I got to pee. It's like I'm Bud Lighting too. It's like, what are the next things?
So this is Bud Light.
Not a
Next.
sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
It's got 0 carbs. So like Mick Ultra has 2.
So it's gay Bud Light?
What are you doing later?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know, big boy. But anyway, Bud Light Next has 0 carbs, which I don't know how they make, because usually in order to make alcohol, you need sugar, and that's got a shit ton of carbs. But this has 0.
Bud Light has no sugar. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Yes. That's what they put on the carton.
Are you making a joke right now that I'm not getting?
No, I'm serious as
Oh,
fuck.
okay.
That's why I drink it.
Yeah?
Yeah, trying to lose weight by not eating sugar.
Well,
Wow, Bud Light, please
Bud Light
consider a
Next.
sponsorship because you don't get sponsors like that.
Wait. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll get stock tonight and then you can air this later. I was going to,
All right,
but
let's
my
pivot
Bud
here.
Bell is doing better than Joel is right now, so I might go Mexican.
Jason, you did the very first Sunday roast with us on April 6th.
Yep.
That was the name we had before was the Roast Me Sunday Show.
Yep.
So now it's the Sunday Roast Show. And you went up against
Leah
Bailey, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience on that. That was freaking hilarious, by the way.
That was a great time, man. I've never done a roast before.
That was your first
and
one.
I was kind of nervous about it because I'm not really a roast comic. I mean, I make fun of myself, but I've been made fun of my whole life, so I knew I'm an easy target. When I got to the show that night, Leah told me, I kind of took it easy on you. My coach for this, the guy that gave me tips, was Joe Lamons. So when she told me I kind of took it easy on you, I went, I'm sorry. Because I basically spent 5 jokes calling her a whore.
My favorite one that you got was right before the show. She talked about, my dad's going to be coming tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And you finished off with that killer ass joke. And she stood there and went, yep, I lost. She was a good sport about all of it,
She
though.
was.
I guess hats off to her. She's funny.
She had some
was
damn
good.
good jokes.
She did have some
Damn
good
good
jokes.
jokes. She did
I
have some good
mean,
jokes.
You pulled it out at the very fucking end. I'm
Well,
just
that
telling
was-
you because
that was the last-
I was rooting
So
for
hold
her.
on.
Connie was rooting for you.
I've got a Leah Bailey story. It was hilarious. You can see this on the promo for the Sunday roast that's out. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be out. But we made an interview segment style commercial where it's we interview just like, so tell us why you should be on the team. They just go, I like trains or something hilarious. And we just segment through funny bits.
Right.
So Leah came and did a little bit for
I
us,
like trains.
and we were
hey, I got a nephew like that. That's not funny. I'm offended.
Are you anyway snorting?
I had to for that. You don't have a sound button.
What the fuck? I don't understand the snorting.
It's a Midwest thing. All the fucking women do it.
Yeah,
They laugh, they snort, and it makes it funnier. Yeah. It's like, sorry, Mary. She knows who she is.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So Leah Bailey.
Yeah. So
the interview.
She's up there doing the interview, and we're kind of hemming and hawing, and what ideas we have to make her interview hilarious. And then Mike leans over and on camera and just asks her like, so what is it you think you can bring to the Sunday roast? And she goes, does this job have a drug test? With an absolutely straight face.
Yeah.
And she sold it, and it was the hardest thing for all of us to keep a straight face for. She did a fantastic job. It was so funny. And up against you, she held her own.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She did.
She was funny.
She did
I mean,
definitely.
it came down to a decider joke, didn't it?
It
You
was,
guys
it was,
Yeah.
it was that last joke, and that wasn't even
The
my
only other time I've
original
seen
last.
her was at an open mic
Yeah.
a couple weeks before.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only time I've seen her, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this girl's got it. From
She's
Montana.
got some good jokes. She started probably a month after I did.
Wow.
So she hasn't been doing it for long. And in that roast, I wasn't exactly nervous just because she said she took it easy on me, but I was like, we'll see what happens here. And that last joke that I had, my last joke was actually Leah's pussy's so yeasty, she's in talks with Wonder Bread to start her own factory. That was my joke. All right. That's the one I had planned to do. But
you just told that joke all over the internet. You can't use it again.
If you're watching,
that's okay. It was a roast joke. I never expected to use it again, anyways. But when
oh shit,
when she said at the beginning of the night, when she said that her dad was coming to the show, I hadn't even decided it until I got on stage. I got on stage, and when it came down to that last joke, my brain just went, I'm using that joke. And that's when I said, I heard Leah's dad's coming. She's used to that, and it just fucking killed. It just fucking killed. It was so good. I was just, like...
You hit one of those magic moments, and you grabbed it.
It worked, man.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked. And I'm not an improv guy, and I'm not much of a roaster. Like, I'm new to this. I've only been doing it for 9 months.
But you did the commercial with us, too. The same one with Leah Bailey. And for yours, you were definitely improving with us. You're great. Like, your answers, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
But I got...
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I'm hoping to work on more. In fact, we're talking about working on a short film that I'm penciling right now.
Can't wait.
It's going to be fun. Yes. But I'm very excited to start breaking into more cinematic style features and stretching my legs a little bit as a camera guy. Woo!
Yeah. And director.
Yeah. And
director, producer.
Yeah.
It's every hat.
Put that back on.
Put that back on.
Too many bald guys in there.
Yeah, right. Too many bald guys in the room when the lights flare and the video goes out. No.
Looks like a what convention?
He said it looks like a Nazi convention. I said no.
What are you talking about?
Right now? My god. Okay, hold on.
Okay, y'all got black shirts and shit. It's like
hold on. I've got a joke for this. I'm gonna step down into the butt here. No. Okay, this is a fucked up joke. I learned it a long ass time ago.
You can't edit this.
No, I'm not gonna edit it. I'll leave it in, but it's gonna get censored. It's definitely gonna get censored. Okay.
Maybe not.
What's the difference between a Nazi and a gay man?
What?
40 degrees.
Oh, yes! Nice.
You learned that on the boat, didn't you?
I don't know where I learned it, to be honest with you.
That's funny.
And now that we're
in
here,
a place you couldn't get away from.
Jail. You know.
You want to hear? I'm going to do this to myself. You want to hear another one?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Fever elastic questions.
I think you're supposed to smack me in the face, but
I wasn't
for not doing that.
I don't want to start a fight around a $3,000
I'm not
joke.
gonna fight you about it, but I would get the joke. So, but thank you.
I was tempted to reach across to my kid, but I was like, if I do that, he's going to lean forward to take a drink as soon as I do that, and then it's going to be all bad. So I overthought that, but I went with the shoulder pat, and I think that was fine. It worked. So the joke still hit.
Good
I
job.
saw you laugh.
I was scared there for a second, but somebody buy this $3,000 fucking drum kit before I scratch it.
Buy it for me.
You all heard it that he...
No, that just
the red sparkly.
Those 3 fucking red drums.
For this one's for you, Mike and Jason. The red sparkly ones.
The red sparkly ones.
Yeah.
It's a Ludwig.
Yeah.
It's a really
shells
expensive...
are?
Just show him yeah, they're fucking Vista lights.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the Bonham.
What did you say? One of 25 kits made in the whole world?
One of 35 in the world.
One of 35 in the world?
Don't touch it.
Sorry. Oh, fingerprints.
Oh my God, that's another joke.
How
much was it?
Hold on.
$3,000.
It's
$2,500
now.
Whatever.
25.
No, the price
you
won't go
shouted
down
out
on
fingerprints.
that one.
Do you guys remember a Saturday morning cartoon called Animaniacs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, my kids watch.
Yes. One of the greatest super adult jokes they ever snuck into a kids show was on Animaniacs when they're out solving a mystery or something, and Dot starts going, "What should I do?" And Wacko goes, "Go find some go find some fingerprints." Or go find Prince. Go look for Prince. And she goes, okay. And she comes back in with Prince the singer. And she just goes, found him, and he goes, no, fingerprints. And her and Prince look at each other, and she goes, yeah, I don't think so.
Nice.
That made it on TV repeatedly.
Yeah.
And they didn't catch it for a long time.
I just had cats named Yakko, Wecko, and Dot.
There you go. Yeah. But I was
Love
like,
that shit.
It'd be funny.
You shouted fingerprints.
Watch those all again now that you're older.
Oh, yeah. They're good.
Dude.
Oh, shit. Well, you guys ain't old enough for Hee Haw, but man.
I remember Hee Haw.
How old are you?
54.
Oh, yeah, you were old too.
Reruns. As a kid.
You didn't watch them.
I'm the youngest one here.
No. Well, how long did that show go?
Fucking long time. It was on for a long time.
Was it past the 70s?
Well, you're only 3 years younger than me, so
okay.
you've probably seen that.
Jason, grandpas are talking about the old days.
You
talking about the good old days.
Damn it.
It was all reruns for me.
I mean, I watch Gilligan's Island reruns.
I watch them now because I realize, well, I don't watch the Hee Haw reruns because I get too horny and want to masturbate. But I love watching.
It's official. I didn't
Watch
need
one rerun and you'll see what he's talking about, and then you'll be up in the attic.
Yeah,
Not to
I'm
go
just
back to
saying.
that.
I'm just saying. Dolly Parton was hot, but what I was really talking about was there were some fucking good musicians on there.
Oh,
Roy Clark.
Roy Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the best fucking guitarists
What that guy can
I've
do with
ever seen.
6 strings, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Amazing.
He was fucking
Amazing. Yeah. Getting after it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Now I said my Roy Clark thing, and Buck Owens was pretty good.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
and
Roy Clark. No. Sorry.
Now that we're done with the antique segment.
He's still alive. I was like, is he still alive?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
It'd be cool to get him
so.
on here.
That's how
if
you
he
know
was.
this is a very
Hey,
old
Roy, if
conversation.
you're still alive and you can still play guitar, we want you on a podcast.
Roadkill Podcast.
Yeah, we pay nothing. Because I don't have any fucking sponsors.
Wait, I'm not getting paid?
You have to get on this thing called an aeroplane to come here.
Fuck, he probably lives in Pinellas or something.
Probably.
You know?
The villages.
Yeah, he probably was around here.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we got more musicians.
However, he's
in
probably
Florida.
going, where's my jello? God damn it. So.
Yeah, it's like Polk County. Grady's over there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about all the shootings lately.
Nope. On that end, we're gonna close this thing out here in a
we'll be
rapid
back.
hurry.
Good.
Guys, thanks for coming out, being on the
Thank
show.
you
with us.
for having
He still ain't hit the button.
Thanks,
fucking
Mark.
talk
Yeah,
shit.
right.